And hello again, boys and girls. Welcome back to the stream. It's of course your host Marley Startled, and today we are going to be playing a new game that's just come out of early access called Easy Red 2. Now this fellow is how much is this fellow anyway? I don't know. £6.99, and effectively it is a rather large sandbox World War II game. There are missions, and generally it's sort of AI focused, so it's mostly based for single player. There is multiplayer 10 versus 10, but it's supposed to be like large scale battles and engagements. This covers campaigns such as Kwajalein, Hos, Iwo Anzio, and then of course you have the workshop missions like Iwo and other workshop missions like the stuff I have here, which is a bit confusing because I thought I had more. Yes, I do. Okay, Omaha Beach. Effectively, how it's supposed to work is you've got a land invading force and a defending force. You've got lots of tanks and lots of variety, and although the bots aren't particularly intelligent because there's just so many of them, it ends up being a bit of a large-scale engagement. For the most part, it is £6.99. It's no AAA game. It isn't flashy. As you see once we play, the bots aren't very impressive, but it's sort of for the nostalgic days of I don't know, Star Wars Battlefront, when you had these big bots battles, and great for single player if you don't want to worry about getting into servers or the longevity of games. So the attacking side has to invade, and you've got infantry squads. You also get tanks and other missions. I'm going to be the marksman, and you spawn on the boot. So you can see here, it's not bad graphically, but you can tell it's been restricted in order to allow more bots onto the game. Hello, there we are. Of course, you got different jobs. So you got your radioman who will be able to call in airstrikes, a medic who will be able to heal wounded people. But it's very sandboxing. So the missions are pretty simple. Take the next point, and take the point after, and take the point after. But because it's all bot based, it can be very dynamic in how the battle escalates. I had one battle where I never was able to get off the beaches, and another battle where we got right to the end and then we ran out of points.
I'll take the lead.
And so you don't really have to do much to change the course of the battle. Normally the AI will do most of it. You can see little bugs here. They're not moving too much. They're not very fluid, but it's good for what it is. Like you see, it's not, the animations aren't perfect. They'll just like move like that, but they don't need to be perfect for what the game is. Can I get off the beach without dying? I think so. Graphically, it's a big step. I think Big Red won. Of course, it's got limited sound effects. It's not going to be like authentic Call of Duty sound, or just good sound, but for what it is, it's not too bad. So we get to the first point, and sometimes you can just die on here because it's all AI based, so sometimes you won't be able to take the point, sometimes you will. Oh, that's an enemy airstrike. Well, that's a friendly airstrike. So that's a friendly airstrike killing us. It has a weird mechanic with prisoners of war as well, which I found quite funny. You can actually get people who surrender. Let's go for the aircraft. So for the aircraft, it's very basic. Mouse to sort of move around, throttle to go up, forward. Yeah, it's not too complex. It has got some basic damage mechanics as well. Okay, and I've got to still work out how to hit with the bombs. And then of course in other levels you get tanks and that, but I've actually haven't been able to get past this level yet. Has this point been taken yet? I think it has. I'd be very upset if it hasn't. I really gotta get this right. That's another airstrike. And there we are. Let's keep going. I quite like the game for what it is. It's not bad. It's like it is £6 out of 9. Yeah, the combat's not bad. I mean, of course, it's not going to be as graphically pleasing to the eye as other games, but it's pretty okay. If I just drop the bombs like that over the target, am I going to hit? No. I think I've got to like Stuka it if I'm honest. So let's do some bit of plain combat. So these guys have got a rear gunner, which is a bit of a nuisance. But the audio's not bad. I quite like the audio. Ah! So you can damage like the wings, the pilot, that sort of thing. There we are. But I've got to be careful about that gunner because the AI bots are actually pretty accurate. There we are. Fuel damage. It feels like Battlefield 1942, but with less players. Well, with the less potential for multiplayer. There we are. I think I've got the pilot. It says. Where's he gone? I've lost sight. There he is. There we are. Wings gone. Of course, I can't like do the yaw or do like rotations of the plane, so I can't like do a full loop-de-loop or go upside down. But hey ho. And that was pretty fun. I actually enjoyed that combat. I actually enjoyed shooting that plane down. I think what's happened is with AAA games and World War games, people become a bit like graphic snobs and gameplay snobs, and so they see a game like this and go, "Oh God, look at the graphics," or look at the mechanics. They're so basic and bare bones that people end up getting put off. Whereas you don't need a complex game. Have fun. I want to get out of the plane now. Can I crash? I'm getting a bit bored of the plane combat. I'm not very good at it. There we are. Appear to have fallen through the map. Let's go for the sapper. Need to spawn in like so. So yeah, the animations are not bad. If you're not the squad leader can give you orders and commands. They can drop smoke and do things like that. I haven't really had played long enough to get a bearing of how competent the orders are. But I don't see the bots get stuck in scenery very often, so that's good. However, the mouse acceleration is awful. That's something I need to look at. That friendly enemy. Oh, there you go. See, so if the enemy gets surrounded, you end up with prisoners of war, and so they'll just be surrender. I don't know what actually happens to them, but you've got things like mortar shells, anti-tank guns, naval strikes, all that sweet stuff. But I haven't really played the Defenders very much, so I'll have to take a look at it. Normally I'd be playing the Naval Invaders, so that's what's left of my plane. So far, I think the developers are planning a Stalingrad DLC, but for now it's only the Japan, Anzio, and I think they've got like British, American, and German assets. I think maybe Italian assets as well. So if there are so most of the workshop stuff is D-Day and British versus German, or American versus German, or the occasional Japanese island. But this is effectively the gameplay loop. You push through, fight through the scenery, take the next position, and keep on rinsing and repeating. So here's a bug. Some of the maps can get very big as well. So, for example, we're scanning all the way across from that island there. Alright, so here's one of the examples of this sort of limited AI. They'll just like move in big clumps. They're accurate, but they just move in big clumps. So it's not as realistic as the game door page presents, but hey, I'm not expecting, you know, armor levels of AI complexity, or ready or not levels of AI complexity for £6 or £7. So there's a squad lead order. We'll head down that way. And this, you can get cinematic moments like this when you're attacking a town and you see a squad of troops at the front moving. There was a moment when I was playing a D-Day custom map where I saw a tank moving across and massive explosions. And I was very impressed by it. But I will note that this game can be quite hard sometimes. Like sometimes you won't be able to actually win the game because of how most of the AI gets splattered. And so it's not really the missions. It's more like simulations rather than actual, you know, having any sort of feasible impact on the war effort. Oh, I can go third person. It's not bad graphically. People were slagging it off and saying it was like a PlayStation 2 game, but it's not bad graphically. Bear in mind, what, there's like 80 bots on the screen. Oh, hello. Oh, there we go, another POW. Alright, I forgot how I went to first person. That's my pistol. G? No, G's grenade. I'm just about to throw a grenade. F, H, R, T, Y, Q. That's cool. I like how the AI's done that. Yeah, I probably should move to the next position. Oh. Was it Alt? No. No, that's the Windows tab. I'll have to look at it when I'm done. God damn it. Let me look at my controls. Change seat, next weapon prone, bomb, jump forward, melee, switch, inventory, aim, interact. Zeroing, oh, you can zero. Well, you don't need to zero in this game. Change view is T, apparently. Can I die? I'll respawn. Yeah, and so we've lost because we couldn't take the last position. Which can be frustrating sometimes because you can't do anything about it. I think I do. Oh, we've lost, so it doesn't really matter. But the game can be rather difficult. But it does leave some wonderful opportunities. So, for example, we now go to the campaigns and go to the workshop where we see some lovingly crafted missions. Well, that's Iojima. But let's go for the custom terrain and go for Omaha Beach Landing 4.0. You can play some wonderful missions.
Attack that position.
And this will get mowed down. There you go. Again, there's not going to be no salvation here. There's no salvation. Yeah, we're just going to get mown down. Let's play, let's restart, and let's see, they're all in the boats. Let's go with left-hand side, if possible. But the game can be fun in some regard, like the moving of all these naval vessels and the invasions and the explosions. Like, this is all organic. This isn't like set-piece shells landing. These are all like actual shells being fired by the enemy AI. That can mean that each battle is quite unique in terms of like how the game goes. So, for example, that blew up my entire squad, and now I'm by myself. And another time I've had ships and vessels blown out of the water before they even landed. I think some of the squads have been able to land up here. But maybe the artillery's blown them all up, so I suppose we'll find out. Oh, noble worker. Oh, I did have a squad here, and then they died.
I'm under fire over here. Grenade! I'm hurt.
And then if you're bored, plus I don't really like that time of day, so I'm gonna go to daytime. See what's going on. Yeah, I can start seeing troops move up. What's green screen do? That's weird. And then you can go back and be like, ah, okay, this is done now. Where are you? Okay, let's go here. Yeah, I mean, it can be a bit of a pain because you actually have to zero, but very rarely do you actually bother zeroing. Because you don't really survive long enough to bother. At least I've never really survived long enough to bother. Bit loud, isn't it? There we are. Oh, damn.
Attack that position! I'm reloading!
Oh, cool, I can switch weapons. The weird post-processing also does not help the situation, but yeah.
I need a medic! Reloading.
No, you can carry people. So all these little weird mechanics they have in this game, but doesn't really fit the whole multiplayer aspect. Whoa, that's interesting. Get out of the vehicle, you end up popping up above the tank. Oh god, above the bunker. Oh god, the FPS is gone. The FPS is gone. Where's the FPS gone? These can be quite cinematic parts, like when you actually get into the town and see the hordes of bodies. So as soon as I probably need to die to get my got an inventory system and everything. That's funny. Why does it have all of this? I probably need to die to bring back the FPS, if I'm honest. And there we go, the first tank. I still want to really sort out what's going on here. Try that and see what happens. Slightly better, and then we'll bring this down to medium. Actually, it was that bunker. That bunker is what did it for me. Yeah, the tank's not perfect, but it does the job. Alright, someone shoot me so I can respawn. That fix the situation? Not really, no. Not really, no. I'd like to respawn. And I would like to not select any of these squad leaders. Oh, suddenly the FPS came back. It looks like certain areas of this map are just FPS hell. That's pretty cinematic. I feel stuck. I prefer having the rendering full. I wonder if you can like blow this up if I like stand on it. No. At least you can stand on it. That's amusing. Run me over. I want to be a tank crew. Oh, I can be the driver or the gunner. So if I'm the gunner, I can't move the vehicle around, but I can fire. How do I switch to a different shell? C, B, V? Okay, that's how you do it. Oh, but you can order them to move around. Okay, that makes sense. Like, it is fun in a weird way, like the sheer scale of the battle does make it fun. The 10 versus 10 is a good mechanic. I like that. I reckon the multiplayer is what will give it potential. Because this will be like a game that most single player will be, most people play single player, but if it does get a multiplayer following, even if it's just a small one with modded maps and that, I can see this being quite an entertaining game.
Go, go, go!
So it's a large enough scale that individual players won't feel like they're too stressed to do anything, you know? I think this will be a good casual game. The problem with this game is, the good thing about this game is it's cheap. It's cheap, and you get what it says on the tin. It's not going to be fancy. It's not going to be amazing. It's going to be it's not going to be, you know, the next Battlefield 2042, but it runs surprisingly well for its price tag. So what may happen is if enough people think it's cheap enough and they get it, they may enjoy it enough to actually, you know, build some workshop maps and start doing multiplayers, and it'll be casual, and it'll be able to succeed that way. It's great for single player if you're just casual. If you just want to play around in big battles and you want to spend a couple of minutes or an hour or so faffing about, I can see the potential in a multiplayer, even though the developer hasn't really wanted to make it a proper multiplayer game from what I've heard, well, what I've seen on the Steam discussions. But I can just see it now. If you've got like 10 players and the rest were bots on each side faffing around, I can see a lot of fun to be had. Of course, with some proper balancing. Okay. Open this bad boy back up. And see if I just want to see if I clear that mission on multiplayer or not. It's going to carry over in single player. Yes, it does. Oh, that's really good. Okay, so in summary, what do I think of the game? So it's £6.99. It's not fancy. It's not big. It's not great. It's not going to like impress you with graphical fidelity, or it's not going to impress you by how the animations or the AI works. Everything is pretty primitive. However, it's the scale of the combat which is fun, and it's being surprised by the depth of the mechanics, even though they're not as in depth of other games. It's being surprised by the depth of the mechanics for a game this cheap. Really, it comes down to it's a game that has a lot of potential. If it ends up getting a sort of a cult following of lots of workshop maps, and the multiplayer I can see being fun, but with things like hackers and the lack of sort of controls on the servers and things like that, I can see that being an underlying problem. Altogether, this game is great for something casual to play, and great to sort of get the old nostalgia days back from when you played against bots as a kid, and having the big battles that you were used to back as a kid, which has slowly been faded out for things like Battle Royale and more boring, mentally tedious games like Call of Duty and Battlefield 2042. Altogether, it fits its price tag and is good for a go if you're just looking to play something casually with friends and wanting this big, massive battles. But if you're still a sort of a graphics whore, and you've ended up sort of being a bit too pampered by modern games and their graphical fidelity and animations and the smoothness, then this game may not be for you, because this is not graphically impressive. It's not visually impressive. The AI is not out of this world, nor is its audio that good, but it's all acceptable for the scale of the combat, and rather fun to play on single player where you don't have to worry about the stress of dying, anything like that. Anyway, this has got me in a mood to try World War II Online again.